What do you really want to know? Because I think we should all be punished because we started schools.
Yeah,
We
that's
should be
true.
punished for
But
starting
you
things.
see, the carrot and stick policy, right? There is a carrot thing, and then you talk about you give, and I think some of the learning theories, if you look at it, the conditional theories, operant conditioning, so all those lead to a stimulus, lead to some sort of a reward. So how do you even say that we are punishing if we kind of encourage rewards?
Actually, I don't even know why children should be rewarded for what they naturally are supposed to do. What is the reason? There's no reason to reward. You don't reward a child when a child completes a Lego block, do you? You don't. When a child plays or with his friends or with her toys, makes something on her own, we don't go in between and say, man, you did it so well, so I'm going to reward you. Who rewards? You don't reward a child for speaking a sentence correctly in your language. You don't.
Not
You don't.
exactly in.
No, the point is you don't reward children for what they do naturally, or you cannot reward anybody who is doing something out of a natural love and need to do it. The reason rewards have come up is because we are making the child do unnatural stuff that the child is not naturally built or wants to do. It's forced. It's an imposed activity. It's not an activity that the child picks up by choice. Naturally, there is an aversion, and to beat that aversion, you think you can reward a child and get the child to like it or do it well. But to be very honest, it's simply not. It doesn't work. So everything is actually punishment. The minute you impose something on a child, you're already punishing the child. Now look at how we're doing things. We're punishing the child for no fault. We are imposing, which is a punishment. We are imposing a school on a child. We are imposing teachers on children. We are imposing subjects on children. We are imposing writing and reading on children. It's all imposed. Now anything that is imposed, you don't call it, what do you call it? If it's imposed on you, why do we call impositions? This is man. It's already punishment. Now to say that if you complete this punishment, I'll reward you, just how odd does that sound? Like how twisted is it? The point is, we have to find a way to design an environment where reading and writing become natural. Becomes a natural need for a child. Okay. Now how you do it, that's the challenge of a teacher. That if you're talking about what are the challenges of today's teachers, when they teach young children, it's this: how to make things natural, how to make things happen without having to reward or punish. So how do you inculcate that desire to go through letters, to write something? How do we do that? See, that has to be dealt with. And for that, it's very important for the teacher to understand how a child's mind works. The teacher has to remember her own childhood, basically. All of us, we have to think of our own child. Did we like something done in a certain way? If the answer is no, then we have no right to do it to other people. But again, it goes back to the same old argument. Like, school hai, there are schools, there's a system. I want my way out of the system, honestly, and that is where my goal is, honestly. I think that pretty much kind of sums up, isn't it? It's like you stop punishing the children with, forced work, and the work will begin to reward itself. See, any child, why does the child play for hours or something? Why? Because that activity is a reward in itself. The very fact that the child has to, struggle through it, go through it, figuring the moves and all, that itself gives the child joy. Children are playing that, they're perfectly making their own rules, they're helping each other. How is it that they're helping each other? They don't need a school to do that. When you tell them, they get it. I took Nisa and Adya to, with me in the car, and before leaving, I told them that you're going to sit behind and only talk with each other. You won't believe the whole way. This 3-year-old and that 4-year-old, they just talked. They sat and talked all the way. When I stopped the car, I told them, do not move until I open the door. They waited. When I took them to another place, I told them, play there, play here. They just did it. And it was extremely natural. When I asked her to share a Poppins, she shared. There was no, I will not give. So how is that how is this happening without me having to force it or impose it? Why is it happening? Because it's an environment. It is what I clearly mentioned. I told them that if we have to do this well, these are the things we need to do. And they do it because they understand that. And they really enjoyed it. And I asked her, are you having fun? And both of them are like, yes, we are having fun. So that's all it takes, really. It's very simple, but we have complicated it way too much. Rewards, punishment, all this rubbish that we do in schools. Stickers. God, the rewards also comes in weird forms. Stickers and sketch mark, marking, and everybody's getting it. And the whole people have a way of taking something, borrowing something from somebody else, like ideas, like if you know who I'm talking about. So if you borrow something, borrow a concept, you want to do it but in your own twisted way. So you cannot twist things. Things have to be done the way it should be done. That's it. You can't twist it around to suit your convenience, to please other people. You cannot do it. So one has to decide. When people running schools have to decide whether they should they want to please somebody else or run a school and actually educate people. And when we educate people, it's about teachers also and children as well. Teachers have to reward themselves with growth, so unless teachers themselves don't understand the whole, it's a cycle, no? Teachers also are working based on incentives and rewards. It's not an innate desire, it's not a natural desire to want to teach, most of them today. So it kind of it's like cascade effect. That's what it is.